Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thrive Thursday. I am here with Judy Dano. I'm Shane Reed, and this is the author of today's article, The Only Prescription Is, Jen Fredericks.
Hi.
Welcome.
Jen Fredericks is the only
I'm
prescription.
the only prescription you need. Actually, if you're the pop culture nut, the answer would be more cowbell is the only prescription that you need. But
It works, trust me.
it does.
So please, Jen, fill us in. Why are we prescribing stuff? We don't have any sort of medical license whatsoever.
We don't, no. But we can prescribe more cowbell.
Yes, we can.
We can for more fun. No. Basically, the first sentence of the article is pop culture is speaking to me. And it's kind of also a joke in the office because I'm the one who someone will say a word and I'll be the one who's singing the lyrics to the song that go along with that word or, oh, have you seen this movie or whatnot. But so pop culture has been speaking to me and not in ways like I follow it, and it drives my life, but it's just interesting when you allow yourself to see things around you and what's going on. And so
You're talking about like patterns that you see within...
Patterns and common
Messages.
messages.
Mm-hmm.
So I just recently saw the movie Beautiful Boy, which is about the opioid epidemic in America and how it affects everyday families, right, who are affected by this. And there was one quote, I would say maybe three-quarters of the movie through, three-quarters of the way through the movie, and it just stayed with me for the whole movie and the day after and the day after. And it basically was the character Nick Sheff saying, I need to find a way to fill this black hole in me. And it really spoke to me. And then I started seeing it in other places, right? So I listened to a lot of different music. So I was listening, and Theory of a Dead Man is a band, and they have a new song out called RX, or Medicate. And then I heard a song by BB Rexa, and she's talking about how her therapist is telling her that everything's going to be okay. I'm a mess, but, everything is going to be okay. So it just really fascinated me that all of these humans who, particularly in pop culture and music and movies and authors, right, share this bond of creating because that's their chosen craft. And these certain ones are all coming to say the same thing in their work, which is that there's something deep within their humanity that is not allowing them to experience life the way they want to. And so it was just interesting to me. And then not only are they saying that on such a large stage, but then they're also sharing the ways that they're looking to fill this hole, right? Mm-hmm. So talking with someone, going out to clubs. Ariana Grande has a song out, it's called Breathing. It should be one of my favorite songs in the world. It's not, but it should be because it's about breathing. And then Theory of a Dead Man, they talk about all I want to feel is numb, but the medication's all gone. And why does God hate me? And all I want to be is high and forget this life. And one, it saddened me. But two, it also emboldened me to say, like, they're talking about it. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in a place not so long ago where I have a good life. I do. I have challenges. But there was also there was a hole that I was just kind of like, a part of me wasn't fulfilled or experiencing life the way it wanted to. And I came about my way to filling that through Thrive and personal development and becoming a coach and helping other people find their way to experience life better. And so that's what this article is about.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So I have a question for you about the article. So, you talk about noticing all these, people that are looking to fulfill a gap. And so where or how do you start beginning to look for it, right? Because you can feel it, right? Maybe some people out there can feel it right now. What do you say is, I don't know, maybe number one step, other than contacting us?
Oh, well, right. Right. Well, I mean, I think also relating back to some of the things that we share is like, what is your desire in it? What do you want to experience from life? Like, if it's serving you, like you notice that there's that gap there, but it's serving you to go ahead and start filling that with external things, like be it a vice, be it busyness, and if that's working for you at the time, then that's fine. Right? If that's working for you, keep doing it. It didn't keep working for me. And so that's where I started to go back internally and try to figure out the desire of how I wanted to experience life, and was able to do that through through a lot of the framework and tools that are offered through personal development. And so that's how I did it.
Judy, I'd ask the same question of you.
Yeah, so for me, it feels like the awareness component of this just doesn't feel good anymore, and tapping into that question of what do I want. But what's coming up for me in that is there was one part in the article that you wrote about joy, and then you were like, dare I say joy, or I don't remember the specific words. And we've been talking a lot about that in the office in the last couple of days. And from my experience, when I was really feeling the gap, one of the things that held me back from moving forward was my fear of going into joy. And it was a fear of, well, if I'm happy, is that sustainable? Mm-hmm. If I'm happy, it was almost a scary, unusual, uncomfortable place for me to be because I felt comfortable in that other space. Even though it didn't feel great, it was familiar. And so I loved that piece of it. And so to answer your question, Shane, for me, I really had to get determined. I really had to say, I believe that, so I tapped into belief also. So from my desire of I don't really want to experience this anymore, I really had to tap into my belief that it could be better. And then I made a decision that it's going to be better, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that figured out. And then part of that work was being okay to step into joy and trusting that joy was sustainable, and it is. I can vouch for that now. But during the time when I was in the gap and experiencing kind of that hole, that was where it went for me. Was I went from desire, but then I had to get into this belief that it could be better, it could be different. So.
And being afraid of joy, I think, is a common problem. And just because I can say that I'm joyful now a lot of times, that doesn't mean that my life doesn't suck at times. I mean, there are still obstacles, there are still challenges, and it's my choice and decision in how to move forward in those obstacles that allow me to also feel joy or satisfaction or fulfillment at the same time. So I like the duality of that.
I do too. I love that because I think the message that people, I think, I appreciate what you're saying, because me saying, oh, joy is sustainable could give an interesting message that maybe isn't exactly, people can't necessarily understand it in the way that I'm experiencing it. And what
to
you
me,
said
it seems inauthentic to say that it's all rainbows and butterflies all the time.
Right.
That you're never going to experience anything that is a gap or that is,
exactly.
Emotionally heavy or whatever.
Exactly. And so for me, it's the joy that I experience is a much more, it's not like this, it's not, I'm going to experience joy and then I'm going to experience sadness. The joy that I experience is a much more even-keeled, even-keeled joy. Fulfillment could be another word. Contentment doesn't necessarily feel true to me to describe it, but even-keeled. So regardless of the situations that come up, and I have a better response to it. So because I have a better response to it, but based on the tools that I have now, I can just be joyful in it. And like even right now, just sitting here, I'm like, wow, like, life is pretty darn cool. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now, so pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else, Jen?
Well, the one thing I did say, and I have to turn it over so I remember exactly what I said, is, and we believe this is true, that you already have the 6 things that can work in your favor to help you enjoy your life more. We believe that within the way that your human internal operating system works and the 6 components that you already possess, when you take the time to learn about those and how they can interact and how you can also separate them to make sure that they're serving you in the best way possible, like it's already all in you.
Yeah.
And we can help you pull that out and understand a little bit more about it so that you can move forward and fill those gaps the way that you want to from your desire.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for broaching the topic. I mean, this is this can be a heavy topic, and recognizing these as places where we can help and insert ourselves and those around us, or for ourselves, is awesome. So, Thank you very much. Thank you, Judy.
Yeah,
and we'd encourage you to drop us a comment below and, talk to us about where you're noticing what Jen was talking about, or where, some of the strategies that you've used to maybe help fill a gap or move on past some of these heavy emotional feelings and things like that. So, other than that, we're out.
We're out. Bye.